I learned some stuff about Casey Crawford tonight. One is he really loves comedian, and he's a great comedy. That's my kind of guy. You weren't here in the first act if you don't know what I'm talking about. Or you just have a shitty memory, and that's not on me. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? Yeah? So, here's a question. I want to get off this thing. Everybody says I dry hump the freaking, mic stand all the time. So I'm going to get off it. I'm not a host anymore. I'm just a fucking comedian. Just make it right. So, it's the only difference between doing something half-assed and half-cocked, which way you're facing. That's right. Is the only difference between doing something half-assed. No, just kidding. We know what that joke is, don't we? Ha! All right. So if there's one thing I think everybody here knows and agrees on, which is rare these days, it's that the Bible is absolute truth and was written by God through man. Usually a little more laughter on that one. What, do we all believe that? Was I right? It kind of tapers off at the end, you know? It's like, yeah, by God, through, oh, man? He asked man to do that? Yeah. Why would he trust them with that task? Yeah, man, we're a bunch of liars. I've lied 3 times since I've been up here tonight. Why would he ask? Yeah, only 3. 4 now, because it was really 5. We can figure that out. Art is now part of my act. Thanks, buddy. We're a duo. But, you know, it's a funny thing, you know, you look at the Bible and you're like, I don't think God said that. I think bowing your head and closing your eyes when you pray, I don't think God said that. I don't even think a Christian thought of that. You know who I think thought of that? Agnostics. Because, I think originally it was probably like, make fucking eye contact and nod that you agree with what we're saying. And if some agnostic snuck in there one night and was like, all right, close your head and bow your eyes. Now we can look at each other in the circle and be like, oh, thank God I'm not alone here. Right? This Easter thing. Or another big one is somewhere on this little sheet of paper.
How big can it be?
I know, it's not very good, whatever this is. Some people memorize their jokes. I write down 1/3 of them and then hope I can remember it. Right? No? It's not really working. No, actually, I didn't write down the second half of this joke, so I got no fucking clue what it is. Oh, yeah, now I remember. Professional comedy, guys. That's why I'm 4th. No, so, you know, don't you think God was like, you know, and running the church is going to cost a little money, so take 2% of everybody's income and use it for yourself. And the guy was like, oh, okay, 8%? No, I said 2%. Okay, 8%. Got it. 8%. We'll take 8% of everybody thinks. We'll call it tithing. It's perfect. And then later on, the Catholics were like, just make it 10% now. Nobody can read but us. Right? You were wondering why it wasn't 10%. There was more to the joke. The Catholics. Yeah, gotcha. So, the first time I ever tried coffee... Segue into nothing. And the first time I ever tried coffee, somebody was like, how do you take it? I said, I take it like my women. Because I'd heard that joke before and I wanted to make it. Then I tried the coffee and it was awful. So now I'm gay. Which is also awful. Because I'm not into dudes, I'm into girls, but I was too proud to not drink the coffee. I should have just drank the coffee, and then I could be having heterosexual sex with vaginas. Oh well. Speaking of vaginas, this is actually a segue instead of just an abrupt switch. Women, when you're naming a product for your vagina, don't put vag in the middle of it. Right? Guys, can we agree on this? I don't care if it vages your vagina to its most vagiest. Call it something else. Don't call it vaginine or something. Call it Splenda. And then in parentheses, not fake sugar. Right? You know, you don't see guys with penis ball itch cream. It's called, well, I don't even know what it's fucking called, but it's called something. I'm not a jock. I've sweat 3 times in my life. So, where are we going here? Oh, yeah. So has anybody here had suicidal thoughts? Let me finish. Since I've come up here. Nobody? Nobody? Let's broaden the question. Have any fat people had suicidal thoughts? Broaden the question.
Yeah.
It's a cheap shot. Cheap shot at people without my kick-ass metabolism. So, whenever I see a group of ugly girls, here's what I like to do. I like to walk up to them and say, when was the last time one of you said to another, "Oh, but you're so pretty"? Hmm? And then I want to say, hey, real good-looking people don't say "but" before "you're so pretty." They just say "you're so pretty." You know, like hot people, they don't say that. Like, ma'am, have you ever looked in the mirror and said, "Oh, but I'm so pretty"? No? No? There's a mannequin in the front row I made a mistake of talking to. I'm sorry. Okay. A laughing mannequin, which works even better. Now, how many people had suicidal thoughts since I've been up here? I'm going to get you all tonight. Little by little. Oh, man. So, batshit crazy, right? What's up with that? I don't want to know how that phrase started, and I've even used it. But it's like, whatever kind of craziness also involves some sort of batshit, I don't want to experience. And I would know, my ex-wife was crazy, but she wasn't batshit crazy. She was like religious crazy. It's tough, you know? You walk in, you find your wife, there's another man inside her, and you're like, hey, what the hell's going on? And her only solution is, I think he should be inside you, too. I'm like, I don't know who this Jesus guy is, but I'm not into him. I'm not into him. I'm still not into him. Years later. Yeah, but she had a little bit of delusions of grandeur, my ex-wife. You know, you get into that religious scene and you start getting things, and it's funny. She believed she was a prophet. But the whole time we were together, I always saw her as a loss. Right? So I was going to close with that joke. But I have a couple of cutting room floor jokes, and I'm in a good mood. And you guys are laughing at some total shit tonight, so why not just try them out, right? These are my last 2. I was going to cut them for time, but let's just go with them anyway. One is, you never hear black people going, "Those were simpler times." You ever notice that? I said to the 0 black people here. Shitty history for poor black people. It sucks. And then just to end on a really low note, I'm going to start a roofing company with all hot girls called All the Shingle Ladies. Ooh. Wow. Thank you so much. Yes. Close strong. Let's clap back your host, Mr. Casey Crawford. Thank you guys. I'm Mark Stone. I appreciate it.
Mark Stone, everybody.
Father of the Corazon Comedy Night.